Welcome to this week's episode of the Declutter 360 podcast. I'm Lauren Diekman, a certified home organizer and mindset coach who's created this space that is dedicated to helping you unlock your potential to live an organized life once and for all. Are you ready to get organized from all angles? Let's dive in. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Declutter 360 podcast today. We are here in the month of December. Can you believe it? I don't know about you, but there's certain times of the year that seem to drag. And then there are times of the year, like the months of November and December, that seem to move in fast forward, like hyperdrive. Somebody please put on the brakes. We are definitely in that season. And so it can sometimes be a challenge, I think, to keep your priorities in mind and to keep the idea of organization and decluttering front of mind. But I truly believe that when you can keep those three things, kind of that little trifecta there of priorities, decluttering, and organization front of mind, and I'm not just talking about your physical space, right? We can organize and we can declutter and we can prioritize our thoughts, all the holiday events that we want to go to, decide which ones truly are the most meaningful, or which ones are the ones we really need or want to be at, and which ones are the ones that are just extra fluff that, while it's so much fun to do all of the holiday things, sometimes we need to cut back on that a little bit too. Okay. So this can really work for helping you out in your life in a variety of different ways. But of course, I do want to focus in a little bit on the physical decluttering, organization, priority type of factor, because that's what I'm here for, is to help you with that, right? And so, first of all, I want to invite you, if you have not already, come and join the free Facebook community, the Declutter 360 Facebook community. I want you to check out in the show notes. There is a link to join. It just says Facebook and then has a group link, and you can click on that, join the group. And first of all, we'd love to just have you in there, join the conversation. We have a little bit of fun. I share some silly stuff there. But I also share a lot of motivation. And right now, that motivation is coming in the form of a daily decluttering challenge. And so we're just a few days in at this point. So please don't feel like you're behind, and know that some of the days in this challenge are going to be catch-up days. We actually have one of those coming up, our first one. And so that's a perfect time to just take a deep breath and go back, because sometimes, even when we want to prioritize decluttering, there are days that get away from us, or maybe you're sick, or maybe you have a kiddo who's sick, or who knows, whatever may have happened that keeps you from decluttering one day. I don't want you to give up on it, because one thing we've talked about here is the idea that this daily decluttering challenge is offering you an opportunity not just to get your space a little bit decluttered before the holidays, but also to build a habit, right? To build that habit of decluttering that is so, so good for you in so many ways, my friend. And so every day I've been sharing in that Facebook community since Thanksgiving, or the day after Thanksgiving. I guess we started that on Black Friday, but I've been sharing like a small category, or, some item that you can go look through in your own home and be able to declutter it. And I offer you some tips as to how to address that area or that category, what kinds of things to think about. I've offered some organizing product suggestions. I'm trying to think what all we've thrown out there. We've been in the kitchen a little bit this first week, and some other areas as well. But come on over if you haven't joined us already. Take a peek at joining the free Facebook community with the link in the show notes, And then you can come and participate in this challenge so you too can help build those great decluttering habits. And even if you happen to be listening to this episode way down the line, okay, and you're like, oh my gosh, this has to be so far over, you can still come join the free Facebook community, and you can, come into that group on Facebook and use the little search feature at the top and put in daily decluttering challenge, and it should pull up posts for you. So if you want some inspiration, some motivation to help you do a little bit, this is like micro decluttering. These are things that are going to take you maybe 10, 15 minutes tops. Okay, I want this to be fast. Ideally, you can get this done in about 5 minutes, but if you're just getting started, sometimes that decision-making process takes a little bit more time, and that's okay. So just set yourself aside 10 to 15 minutes, stay focused on the task at hand, and you'll be able to knock each daily task out very quickly. And it'll give you such an amazing sense of accomplishment when we hit the holidays here in a few weeks, or whenever it is that you are completing this daily decluttering challenge. And then you'll be able to keep going, having built these habits. And what's really cool is that I'm already hearing from some of you in the group commenting on these posts that, as you're decluttering whatever the daily target is, you're noticing other things and other areas that could use some decluttering. If that's you, or if you find that you start noticing that, the more you get into it, that's totally natural. And I want you to know that you have a choice when that comes up. I want you to know that you should be empowered, that if you are feeling motivated, you have the time, you're excited about it, you see something else that you can declutter, maybe a different category or something that's in that same area as the category that you're currently decluttering, go for it. Now, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the motivation to keep going that day and you're thinking, man, I'm lucky I got through today's daily decluttering task, then open up the notes section in your phone, grab a Post-it note, whatever it is. I love keeping it electronic because it cuts down on clutter, but I do also love to use Post-it notes. So do whatever works for you. So if that's pen and paper, if that's electronically, make yourself a note. Just start a list of other areas, other categories, other things that you've noticed that you want to declutter, my friend. And then when this challenge is over, you've completed the challenge. Remember, we talked about that habit that you're going to be building. You can keep going, right? Because now you have this list of other things you've noticed that you want to go back and address. So this is perfectly okay to put those things off a little bit. If you want to just keep up with the challenge, if that's what feels good and right to you right now. It is also perfectly okay for you to dive headfirst right into that and go ahead and declutter everything that your little heart desires right in that moment. It's whatever works for you. But remember to keep those priorities, your priorities, at the forefront, because that's what's going to be the most important thing to help you this holiday season. Okay, one more decluttering thing. What we're really going to talk about today, and until I went off on a tangent about the decluttering challenge, but it's such an important thing, so I really hope you are joining me over there, is the idea of decluttering your holiday decor. Right now is an amazing time for you to declutter your holiday decor. Yes, yes, my friends, while you have your decor out and about your home. Okay, whatever holiday you are decorating for, whatever level of decoration you deck your halls with. Okay, take a look around at the things in your home that you have decorated with, and think about how they make you feel. Probably make you feel pretty amazing, pretty special. There's something special about holiday decorations, isn't there? Seasonal holiday decorations. I don't care what the holiday is. We celebrate Christmas in my house, and oh my goodness, there is just something about looking around my house and seeing I mean, it's mostly red, but red and gold and silver and green and sparkly things. Yes, my friends, I break out the sparkly decor and lights and all of that. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It really ignites something within me that makes me feel good. That decor, the decor that is currently out and about your home, is not the decor I'm talking about. Here is an opportunity for you to do some decluttering, though. So, right now, all of my Christmas holiday decor that I'm using this year is out. I finally finished up just this past weekend, getting everything up, getting the mantle just the way I wanted it, putting a snowman here and a Santa Claus there. Okay. And what I do next is I go look back through my Christmas bins and I see what decor didn't get put out this year. So, what's still hanging out in a bin? What am I choosing not to use? Is this the first year I've chosen not to use it? Is there a specific reason I've chosen not to use it? Maybe there is, and then maybe I would hold on to it. But if I haven't used that piece in a couple years, or maybe the reason is that it's broken, and I mean, I've had the intention to fix it, but I'm probably not going to fix it, or actually, I replaced it with something else. If it's hanging out in that bin and you know you're not going to use it, it's not the time to continue to let it hang out in that bin in your basement or in your attic or wherever it is that you store your holiday decor. Now is the time to declutter that excess decor that you are no longer using. So if you still have holiday tins that you haven't used in years, if you still haven't, I'm speaking from experience here, friends, that's one of the top things I pulled out was the fact that I don't use tins anymore for my Christmas cookies. I used to all the time, but this year I was like, I have a whole bin, a whole big Rubbermaid bin full of Christmas cookie tins that I haven't used in years. So guess what? I got rid of them. It was time. It was time for that bin to stop taking up space in my life. Ooh, and it felt so good to drop that off at the donation center. I did make sure that they were nice and clean so that they're usable for someone else, but that really felt amazing. You know what else I found? Were some lights that we no longer use. I decluttered those. They still work. They will work beautifully for someone else. They aren't used in my house. And so I decided that it was time for them to stop taking up space. Stop being something that I have to manage. Yes, even in storage, that takes up physical and mental space and is something that I or you have to manage, my friend. And so while you have your holiday decor out, and yes, of course, this works for Christmas, this works for Hanukkah. But guess what? This also works for Easter. This works for the 4th of July. This works for Halloween, Thanksgiving, whatever else you might be decorating for. I think the best time to declutter your decorations for any given event is while the decorations are up in your home. Then all you have to do is go through what's left. You know that the items that you've used in your home are things that you know, you love, and you want. And my friend, if you get to the end of the season and you decide that something isn't wanted, loved, something that you want to use anymore, don't pack it back up. Go ahead and donate it then. Declutter it then. But right now is the time to be going through any decor that didn't get put up. Okay, it's easy to access right now. It's easy to pack it up and go drop it off at the donation center. If you are itemizing for your taxes, you can get that last one of the year, get that stuff donated and get that itemization tucked away in your tax records, whatever it is that you need to do to help you feel peaceful. This is the time to do it. All right, friends, don't forget to check the show notes to be able to come and join us over in the free Facebook community, the Declutter 360 community. I will see you back here next week. Thanks for joining me, and go ahead and stay organized from all angles. Thank you for tuning into the Declutter 360 podcast today. I am so grateful that you found me and that we can partner together to help you live life organized from all angles. Whether this was your first time listening or you've heard every episode, you'll want to join my email list so you don't miss a bit of the inspiration and motivation to help you stay the course in living organized. Check the show notes for the link to join, okay? And hey, if you found this episode to be particularly helpful or inspiring, I would be so honored for you to share it on socials so we can grow the impact of these messages together. Oh, thank you so much. All right, my friend, that's all for now. Tune in next week for more on the Declutter 360 podcast.